everybody, once again, welcome to Let's Play Motorsport Manager, Daddy's Boy Challenge. And it is time for Phoenix, the 5th race out of a dozen. Of course, we hold the 7-point lead over Spartan, 10 points over Orange. We're looking good, except for the same two problems. I need to stop screwing up Stone's races. The blown missed pit stop last time out in Munich. Get him some points, get him some happiness, all of that fun stuff. And then I also need to watch the finances closely. So that's our main goals here. And 12 hours to fix the cars. Sure, let's do the interview. Qualification was a struggle. Yes, qualifying isn't the most important thing in the world. It's all about the race. And that really is my approach. That's not BS. That's simply the way it is. The chairman didn't like that answer. Oh, well. And Gabler, thanks for the great support all weekend. It was so awesome to win my home race. What a buzz. Okay. So let's just move along to our car repairs. There we are. And I think we're just still working on, the performance. There's nothing that I really want to work on in terms of reliability yet, not till this next gearbox is finished. So let's take a look at how our car stacks up. Yeah, the suspension dropping down. We're still real close on speed. First in acceleration, first in deceleration, second on the spoiler. So Atsuno's got a pretty big edge on the, they're the best at the corners, unquestionably. So that's an interesting development. Okay, yeah, we just kind of need to keep going until we get to the gearbox here. It's now June. And there we are, the gearbox being finished. Take a look at my sponsor situation. Yeah, I'm going to lose Viking after this race, so I'll be able to get one more. I definitely want to finish up the gearbox. And I think I want to, after that, I'm just thinking long term. Right now, the plan is, won't be long after this race that the simulator will finish. So I want to get the gearbox done, and I want to build more spoilers. I may not build anything else. I may not work on the engine or the suspension at all. Because if we do well in the next... I'm going to have 2 or 3 more races to decide, but if we do well in those races, I may not need it, and I may want to just focus on the budget. Okay, so gearbox. These are only the 2 that we can take that really are going to improve it. And subtract a day. Another 900K part. So we've got one, and this is going to be the second one. But I still think we're going to end up negative on the money after this race. And that's when it's going to start to get interesting. Okay, so let's fit parts. Go down to the gearbox. And yeah, that's definitely better than anything else. So Stone, you're going to take that one. And for now, we're going to shift Gabler into that. Doesn't change any of those numbers. Then let's improve reliability of the gearbox. And let's take that one out. Put that gearbox in. Okay. Going to need to move most of it back into here in order to max out that gearbox. But that's definitely what we want to do. Then if we look at the drivers, of course, I'm going to take a look at Stone's relationship. And he's still got, I didn't think he was going to still have it. He's still got the engine expert. He's not going to keep it if it doesn't, if things don't improve. So, gotta hope that we can turn that around. If he has a good race, maybe the mechanic relationship will get a boost. But minus 6.9 for Munich, but he's happy with everything else. Okay. Report on Phoenix. No chance of rain, unsurprisingly. 122 is the lap record, 50 laps. High speed, so Spartan should do well. Soft and medium, we'll again want to go soft. And, I didn't really get into this as much as I intended. The soft, light-footed soft ability that Gabler has is part of this. Another part of it is the brakes that we developed, which are good on ultras, supers, and softs. They get a big bonus, but they do not get a bonus for medium tires. So that just makes it better for us to go soft in virtually any condition. But just go lighter on the tires, but get the performance boost. And let's see where we're at here. 54 minutes before the race. That'd be an hour afterwards. Okay, we want to stick with that. And Andrea Gabler wants to upgrade the engine designs with a better test track. Sorry, we don't have the money. And so local fun run graced by international GT championship star Chica Balazar, adding a bit of star quality to it. Locals were thrilled with the driver's appearance. I turned to the wife and said, blooming heck, that's Chica Balcazar. I couldn't believe my eyes. Much to her disappointment, did not manage to finish on the podium and had to settle for a free medal and energy drink. I was gutted with my performance, but it was a great day. Plus 10 marketability. Okay, that's basically not going to impact anything that I care about. Let's take another look at our... Yep, okay, we want to stick right where we are. Finish up that gearbox. And the GT Challenger in Beijing, so what? And Andrea Gabler still being tipped to do well. Jarita Dutt says she knows what it takes to beat Gabler. Yeah, good luck. And Tommy Klein in here quoted twice for whatever reason, but thinking that's going to work. Yeah, coffers aren't looking healthy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Heckle Rock wants me to have a large... He says, I've got the look, whatever that means. My practice time with the team will be limited. Thought you should beware since you know you got us into this mess in the first place. Improvability minus 15. Morale minus 15. Grrr. The plastic surgery hurt, but Mr. Helkrock says it does wonders for my smile. Ugh. Let me take Andrea out for the night. I want to show her some traditional Phoenix hospitality. Can't be promised we'll be back before dawn. We don't have a problem with that, right? Yeah, no, I don't want burnout drivers. Thank you. We're here to race. Go suck an egg. We're not messing around with any of that. So let's see what that did to Stone's morale. It's still fine. Okay. It was high enough to begin with, so... And we've got another few days on that second gearbox. Looks like maybe we lost a bit on the engines to Spartan, but other than that, we're still looking just as strong. And overall, we've got the best car. So, shouldn't be any problems there. Let's see what we've got going on in Phoenix. Or maybe not. Oh, the reliability stuff is finished. Yes, we know that. Keep moving. Same sponsor. Still the same amount of happiness with that. Engine and spoiler being crucial here. So we could be a little weaker, relatively speaking, in Phoenix than we have been before. It is going to be really warm. It's at 32 degrees. So, yeah, we're not going to get much out of our tires, that's for sure. And if it wasn't for the abilities my drivers have, I would be going with the soft tires, no question. Or would not be going with the soft tires, I'd be going with the mediums. But that's not the way the cards lay out for this. Okay. So I think we're pretty much where we want to be on the weight stripping. And I'm just going to go with the same approach. Oh, nope. Back up to 85 for the crucial parts. And 315 then on this track. And of course the big change here will be the improved gearbox that we're going to see on Stone's car, the second one. We definitely want to go out there with soft tires because that's what we're going to be looking to use. Unlike the other ones, which were acceleration favored, we're probably looking to be more in the top speed area. Just a faster track. I think that's about right. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the previous approach that we had, 8 laps and 4 on the race trim. And yeah, it's going to be dry, pretty steady, nothing to worry about. Other than, frankly, tire wear, but we'll take that as it comes. And we're probably going to have to slow down fairly quickly to conserve the tires. So this one always messes with your head because it seems like as you go around in a different direction. Like most time you're moving left to right on the mini map, and now this one is so it's backwards. Messes with my head anyway. But we start off You come around the turn, oh, good. We like the gear ratios. Come around the turn there. We just do this big long loop, high-speed loop around the outside. And then we go through this sort of hairpin turn thing on the inside and go right back out eventually. There's the first sharp one. So there's a good turn variety here. There's the second one. And we'll have to reverse directions again in a gentler loop that gets your speed up for coming back into the finish. More weight in the front, says Gabler. And there's level 1, about 3.5 minutes in. We really should be able to nail them all at this rate. Both of them want more weight in the front. And now we've got to slow down a bit so that we don't overly fry the tires. It's 29 here, supposed to be 32 during the race. So we're probably going to be doing the same thing at that point. A fair amount of conserving of the tires. They're going to burn up real quick at the beginning. So I'm going to have to watch out for that. With no major weather changes, we're able to just sort of stay out here and sort of enjoy the run. You can see the tire temperature is not going down much on conserve. So they're really going to be tested under race conditions, that's for sure. And so both drivers want more weight in the front and the softer suspension for Balcazar. And we're up to level 2. Balcazar will be coming in and is not driving pretty badly today. Gabler's okay, not great, but Balcazar not having a good day, which is not going to be particularly helpful. We'll leave Gabler out there until we can finish up the level 3 stuff on both the tires and the race trim. There's 3.1. Get it together, Chica. Poor, okay, and poor. Not looking good. 70%. Okay, so we're going to go to qualifying and switch to medium tires. Want more weight in the front. Something like that. We wanted maybe there. And poor speed balance. I've got to think they want more. Yeah. That looks to be about the right gaps. Would think more top speed than acceleration on this track. Although you never know with the amount of inside turns there are. And it looks like Gabler is definitely going to be going around one more time. I would hope this will do it. Might be another one after this, but I would hope this would make it. And then she would be able to come in and join the party. So it looks like this is going to be a much more friendly practice session in terms of getting what we need out of it. You can see it's all a matter of degree, because the medium tires, they're heating up too. Even on neutral, they're heating up too. And there goes Gabler around again because she didn't quite make it. Now we're definitely going to bring in... Yep. So didn't make it till about halfway around on that lap. You told me to change the ballast, so yeah, I changed the ballast. Let's see what we can squeeze out now in terms of qualifying. There's enough time left to maybe put on a 2-lap stint. Okay, an 82%, so we're mostly happy, but we wanted more weight to the front. And I'm going to say probably more oversteer, since that's what Balcazar wanted. And that's probably a good spot for speed. Let's just leave it there. That should be a good try. So I'm thinking maybe we get to level 1, probably not to level 2 though, on the mediums and the qualifying. I'd be surprised to see us go that high. And now I've got to start conserving. Balcazar says the handling is worse. So basically what you're telling me is you wanted it more responsive, then you said, no, I don't want it to be more responsive. You're changing your mind. That does happen. You get faulty feedback. Our times are not winning any awards. But there'll be plenty of room to deal with that later. Balcazar coming in. Looks like we didn't have quite enough fuel for her to finish up, so she's going to be coming in right about when the session ends. Liking the weight distribution better, and the speed balance, all good. We did get level 1, so it looks like that's where we're going to be stuck. Well, we haven't done better than that up to this point. Level 3 and then level 1. And yeah, less than 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Literally comes in as the practice session ends. Well, wasn't going to do much better than that anyway. We've got a great and excellent. We've just got to dial the handling in, and then she will be fine. Yep, and you want the handling change too. So both of them need stiffer suspensions. I took the cue from Balcazar, and it backfired. So yeah, we got a little over halfway to level 2. It would, even in a perfect practice session, which that was pretty close to it, I find it hard to believe I would get up to level 2. Okay, 8th and 13th, very much middle of the pack finishes for us. But of the drivers who did better than Gabler, only one was on medium tires. So Can't be too upset about that. Tora and GT suck more than a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, that's not that funny, Rick. Nope, I'm actually not a worried man at all after that practice session. Yep, all of you can whine about it. Watch us pull out some strong times here in qualifying, though. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. Okay, so sweetest spots and qualifying trim or soft tires. We're going to be using soft tires, so we might as well take that one. And of course, we'll use both for our good friend here, Stone. Okay. Now we're still trying to firm things up. So I'm going to use the tires we've already used for the first set. And we're right where we want to be on the cornering. Yep, good, poor. So let's stiffen that up to about there. Great, good. So interesting, we want to do a little more acceleration here, it looks like. Okay. Let's try something around there. A little more acceleration. Yeah, that's worth a try. Let's change Stone as well. Okay, poor and great. Maybe even a little bit more that way. Yeah, I want to move the handling down about here or so. But I want to leave the speed where it was. So the big thing is going to be going down like that. And then I've got to get the speed back right there. Yeah, let's try that out. You use the old tires as well. And I'm going to send Stone out first. I want to get them both. I want to get them both out for a run that's just saying, okay, where's this car at? Let's get this car up in at least the mid-90s. So that we're just tweaking stuff in the setup. So any time that we get here is a bonus. But unless everything goes perfect, I'm going to be going on a second run with better tires. Perfect and overheated. The brakes are going to spike right towards the end. I've got to remember that. So both drivers going perfect and overheated. Stone doing much better than was Balcazar. Gabler hanging out in the middle here. So 112.3. That actually is a hair better than Gabler, who was happy with what she did. So, out of the first 7 drivers now, we take the top 2 laps. Might not have to go out again. Is that right? Okay, Parisi, of all people. I haven't heard anything from him. He's taken first. Now Lori up further. See where Stone's at. 93%. You know what? You're going back out there because I think we can improve on that. But you're going to stick on the same tires because I don't think we have to improve your time. So, okay, poor, great, good. Let's try a little bit more high speed on the cornering then. Okay, poor, great. A little bit more understeer. So, maybe something like that. That might just do it. Get back out there. And this track is short enough, I might actually be able to run a third trial. Okay, let's see what Gabler says. 99% perfect. Well, you just sit there then. There goes Stone. If we look at the times here, you know, there's not much chance of it, but Gabler, I don't want to send her back out again. But you look at these cars, you know, no, there's too many cars that have to pass her. I don't see her dropping out of the top 15. I was just sort of, it's just close enough that it seems a little risky. But there's just too many that would have to pass her. I'm going to feel like a real idiot if if enough of them do. But see how Stone did. And he ran slower, but he was on very used tires. His tires are almost burned up now after a full practice session or half a practice session and all this. So Roberts is going to be down there. I don't care if you can do better. Wood is going to be down there. Stefansson is not going to beat us. So that's 3. We only need 2 more. It's going to be fine. Let's see where Stone is. 96%. Still not perfect. And you know what? To heck with it. We still have time. Let's go out again. Poor, great, good, great. Okay, so that's great, and that's great. So I want to be right in between there, a little bit lower speed there. And then the other one, okay, poor, great, a little more understeer. A little more low speed, a little more understeer. Now that's good, except for I want to get... Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. That should be at least a little bit better. Get back out there. So it's the first time we've had a driver go out for a third set, and I don't think he's actually going to make a lap. It's going to be a little bit late for that, but he still should be able to give us a reading as he's down to average, and Gabler ironically racing better, but he still should be able to give a reading on how well he's doing. So yeah, we didn't get passed by pretty much anybody. We had some that closed up, did a little better, but not good enough to surpass us. And there's the qualifying session ending as I was getting close to the final turn, so no surprise. And yeah, sticking right in 5th and 7th. So Hashimoto and Sevilla, the cars to beat for sure. Loria middling ways back, and then a whole bunch. And I'll take a closer look at who dropped out. Once again, none of the top racers. Orange again looking rough, 9th and 12th. Tanaka not looking great down here in 11th. But Hashimoto 1st and the 2 Spartan drivers in 2nd and 3rd. So hopefully over the next couple qualifying sessions we can get closer to them, and I think we will. Because we're going to be running on some fresh tires. So Hashimoto's time there, I believe from what they said, is the track record. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at for weather. Dry and dry. Oh my goodness. 34 degrees. Ugh. Yuck. Well, since there's plenty of time here, we could just wait. But I don't want to wait for Stone because his form is looking great. 98%. Now we're off on that. Well, we've been off on that every time. So that's great. And that's great. And that's great. I don't see him be able to hit the excellent point anywhere. It's got to be somewhere in between there. Let's see if I can do anything with this. See, I don't want to go that high. If I do something like that, then I've got to tweak something else to bring it back in line. I'm going to leave it at 98. Just going to leave it there. But yeah. I'm going to have Gabler wait a bit till see if her form comes up at all, but also see the track get a little faster. Come on, get up there. Just barely got to perfect. Just being a little too cautious with it. Okay, so now Gabler, why don't you go out there now that the track's a little better. Show us what you've got. Managed to keep that break just in. Great and good. I don't think I can do any better there. 112.3. I'll take that. Take that from Stone. Now Holgerson in the lead. Now Lori in the lead. Now Hashimoto at 111.83. And Gabler coming up just into second. And this is another situation where if we're confident, I'm going to wait a little bit, but if we're confident that we could finish in the top 10, I would not want to go out again. If we go out again, we've got to go on fresh tires because the tires we finished qualifying with this round of qualifying are the ones we're going to have to use in the race. So I definitely don't want to make a bad decision there. Gabler should be good. Should be good with that time. But Stone, there's too many of these that are close. And now the track is at maximum grip. I don't see any reason not to. Stone, go out there and have at it again. Let's see if you can improve on that at all. There we are, perfect. No, I can, but I don't want to. Because you'll have fresher tires to change into for the race if I don't. And there's no way that many cars are passing you today, so. Stone with a better first lap. Not first lap, first sector. Yeah, and there's Stone down to 8th now. He's doing better this time, but it's looking like he probably needed it. Well, it wasn't great, but it was better. From the looks of things, he may or may not have gotten away with it without that. But now, with that lap, should be secured into the final qualifying round, which is, of course, what we wanted. And there's Lori sneaking just ahead of Gabler. Hashimoto looking like the pace setter. Parisi definitely a threat. Lori, Gabler, Blasi. Those are looking like the top 5 really. Pole position should come from one of those. So we've got another struggle for Orange in the qualifying. Rodriguez again being knocked out. Dutt in the very final spot in 10th. Sevilla down in 8th. Lori up in 3rd. So 4th and 7th versus 8th and 3rd. You know, we're looking as good as any of the top teams. And you see Hashimoto with the best time in both sets so far. It would indicate that, yeah, Hashimoto is definitely looking like the one to beat going into this final session. Okay, so how do I want to play this? Well, honestly, I just want to wait. Not a super long time. Wait about a minute. I just want to make sure that by the time I start my qualifying runs that I've got a good track. Okay, Stone, you're going out first because of your strong looking form at the moment. Yeah, it's already starting to drop. Oh well. I'd rather have the grip on the track than worry about your form overly much, because that could vacillate up and down. Not yet. You'll go out soon. There we go. Now it's time for you. Get out there, Gabler. Show them what you got. So, and I'm perfectly happy basically conceding the pole to Hashimoto at this point. What I want to do, though, is make sure that if there's any way I can do it, I get Gabler into that top 3. Got to get that sponsor bonus. Great and good. I think that's about as well as I'm going to do. And Holgerson running well in the early going here. Yeah, that's a pretty strong time. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Stone getting the better second session than a couple of the drivers early on, but not once Hashimoto had Hashimoto's say. And 1:12.041. That is a great time for Hashimoto. Lori just barely edging it out. And Gabler not looking fantastic. Pulls out second behind Hashimoto, though. Just under 1:12. So second and fourth after our first run. Can't complain about that. Down to 5.8, Stone still declining, but going up is Gabler in terms of form. So get out there and do it again, Stone. And now Gabler will go back out. She's in solid position to get in the top 3, but really want to improve that time a little bit because it's so close. You know, there's 3 drivers after her within 1/10 of a second. All it takes is a couple of them running a little bit better than they did before. Perfect, but overheated. Doggone it. That's probably not going to end well. Stone with his best first sector. So, possibility of improving on what was a really strong time for him. But then the second sector, not as good as his first run. Yep, and I don't think he improved on that. Nope. Still. Low 112s. I'm happy with his performance. Can't argue with it. Gabler, not looking so hot here. And she was at 112 flat on the first one and just a hair slower on the second. So consistency for both of them, really. Hashimoto looking like she's going to go lower, but I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Lori. Let's see what Lori does. Looks like Lori got stuck in traffic here, but then a brilliant second sector still. Battling with another vehicle. And got second place. But I think that Gabler's still going to hold on to third. And Sevilla staying in fifth. So it looks like we're going to get the second row. Third to get the sponsor bonus. Just barely making that. And then Stone alongside. So that's definitely Stone's best qualifying position. Feeling great about that. Well, Hashimoto gradually improved, dominating the qualifying. So it could be tough for us to win against her in the race. But other than that, feeling good. Third and fourth, again bracketed by Spartan, who's second and fifth. And then Araj down here in ninth didn't improve that much. So Stone looking for more tomorrow than fourth. Well, it's pretty aggressive. So I think that we're in pretty strong position. And it looks like in terms of the championship, it's going to be the battle between us and Spartan today. So, do we want to light-footed? We definitely want the race trim. Want them to wear more slowly? I think going with the performance increase is going to be the best. Still want to go with engine expert there. And let's take a look. We're going to, of course, be going all out to start, but not for very long at 32 degrees. Just for as long as it can be tolerated. Fuel options. 50 laps. So we need to get about 17 laps out of each. Might be able to get away with 9. Let's go with the halfway point at 10. And 16, I think, for Stone. Good starting point. Okay. So Hashimoto, Lori not far behind, and then the pack, starts to stiffen up. No real big gaps here until you get down to Parisi in 10th. Okay. Let's see how we do, starting from row 2. Looks like a decent start. Looked like Gabler might be slow at the very beginning, but then picked it up. And definitely Hashimoto already off quickly. The pack right on Stone's behind. Gabler trying to hang with Lori ahead of them. But now we're falling back. Into the mess as Holgerson gets up to 3rd. There's Gabler. I'm going to try to go neutral with her tires already. Just because she seems to be stronger than the cars behind. Yep, and now we've got to go conserve on Stone because he's right there at the limit. He's probably going to lose some positions, but oh well. And we can stick in neutral for a little bit longer with Gabler. Go back down to medium now. Okay, so we've settled into 4th and 5th. Hashimoto in 1st, Lori in 2nd. And we definitely are not looking as strong here as we were in the last couple of races. Especially the last one, where it just looked like Gabler had as strong of a car as anyone. Stone back to 6th as Blasi trying to make a charge. You can see the tire wear. Again, we're looking a little better than average there. And Gabler's going to have to back off on the tires soon. See, lots of, pretty much everybody else near the top still really firing their engines, and we're not. Yep, now go conserve. Lap 5. And we're not saving quite as much on the energy per lap, but I'm thinking we're also probably not going to use quite as much. Little less than 5% per lap. Stone back to 7th. Stone just having a hard time keeping up. But definitely Hashimoto and Lori just pulling away with this. And you get the sense here that unless something really goes my way strategically, I might be battling to get Gabler in third. And we would lose some points in the championship if we finished this way, just with Gabler in fourth. So we're definitely facing a bigger challenge than before. Nice thing is Gabler is racing well, Stone racing decently, but Gabler racing well for sure. It's looking like about 4.5% a lap is what we're retaining on this particular track. Looks like this third through sixth is what we're stuck in now. Holgerson through Sevilla. And Stone, you know, just stuck a little further back. If we assume, let's say, 10% per lap, yeah, I'm going to want to get this down to probably a little bit over a lap before I switch to hybrid. The other thing is the tires are burning up fast. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Can these tires make the distance? Nope, not yet. Let's go with it now before we get too low. And I think we're looking at a three-stop strategy here, actually, if we go with soft tires. So that's going to make it real interesting. Of course, the future tires will make it through more, but I don't think it's going to be enough more to make up the difference. Maybe it is. Maybe we can just leg it out. It's going to be close. And now I've got some drivers coming into the pits, so at least we're not first this time. Third now and seventh for Stone. Yeah, and they're going medium. I'm still going to stick with softs. It's risky. I don't know that the strategy is going to work perfectly, but I'm going to stick with it. A lot of conserving of the tires, I think. I'm going to try to keep the tire temps low as much as humanly possible. Oh my goodness. Totally forgot about going hybrid over here with Stone. So once again, I blow up Stone's strategy. Go around one more lap and then you're going to pit. Up to 5th. Go on softs, and then you don't need as much fuel this time. Think about there. Gabler, I just want to chew up a little bit more here. I think probably one more lap. Up to 2nd behind Lori. Hashimoto back now, but also the fastest. Yep, I don't want to go around more than that. So we're going to lead for a lap, and then we're going to come in. Fresh tires. The charge on the battery is going to be almost as high, but not quite. I think I want fuel about the same. Bit higher just to be safe. Okay, so coming out in 17th for Stone. But just below the middle of the pack in terms of cars that have already come in. And now let's see Gabler. Start of lap 15 coming in. .13 It seems to be a pretty typical pit stop length. And then we're going to go conserve. We're going to really milk everything we can out of these tires. And then we're going to have to make a decision at some point whether we're going to make it or not. Gabler only 13th, but 3 cars ahead that have stopped. So, effectively 4th, I would call this. And here comes some more in. And up to 11th now, and still 17th, I believe, for Stone, yes. Looks like I'd like to, yeah, get past Sevilla. Use a speed burst. No point in using up the rest of that now. Go ahead and save it up. I want to see how much Gabler is burning these tires now per lap. 10th and 14th as we reach the 1/3 point. And this is going to be 3 laps now that she's been out. Okay, 3 laps and 11, almost 12%. So let's say 4% per lap at the conserve rate. Doing a little math, she'd be able to get another 15 laps. And I think we can make it with her. I'm not sure about Stone, but I think we can make it with Gabler if we're conserving virtually the entire time. See about the temperature. Yeah, it's going to go back and forth between 31 and 32. A little cooler towards the end of the race. I think we can make it with her. I'm not sure about Stone, but I'm going to try. So Gabler still fourth among cars that have come in. We're expecting to see a stop soon from Stefansson and Hume. That would move her up to fourth. The battle really seems to be... We've got much better tire wear than Holgersen. So I like our chances of beating Holgersen, and that would give us third position. I think that's really what my goal is right now. Finish third with Gabler, and then Stone maybe top 10. And that's not really the profile for a winning team, but it's kind of what we've got here on this track. Stone trying to make a pass, so let's go and use some more speed burst there. There we go, made it. And I didn't want to use up quite that much, but makes the pass up to 7th. Everybody has come in at least once, and we are in 3rd and 7th. Hashimoto having come in a second time and going back out on softs. So Hashimoto is just going to keep going fast and coming in, fast and coming in, fast and coming in. And right now, hopefully they've got she's got to fight through traffic too much. Both drivers looking very average for us in terms of form. Lori driving fantastic. Parisi driving out of her freaking mind. Hashimoto driving well also. Stone grabbing 6th from Kaluza and then losing it. That's unfortunate, but I can't really afford to boost the speed at all there. And Gabler coming up now on Holgersen. Bit of a choice to make here on the tires, but honestly, it's not like Holgersen's driving that slow. So I don't think it's that much of a choice. I'm just going to be patient, and if I get held up a bit, oh well. I did it again. I freaking did it again. Stone gonna have to go low just to freaking make it back. I forgot about his fuel. Unbelievable. Well, now he is gonna have to pit 3 times. Come in. Okay, fuel options. Going to want to get about 13 laps out of this. Let's go to 10. I just so absent-minded with Stone's pit stops. I mean, I would have lost completely the yeah, I would have run out of fuel if I hadn't noticed it there at the last second. Would have pulled a repeat of the last race. Fact is, he might have had to stop 3 times anyway. Maybe. But that still doesn't change the fact that I royally screwed it up. Going hybrid now with Gabler, and almost forgetting that also. So Stone back to 18th. But most of the drivers, well, pits are off and on. We're at the start of the second half of the race. And Holgersen is going to have to, yep, there goes Holgersen in. Gabler up to second now. And unless Laurie's driving cools off, I don't see myself beating Laurie. But Hashimoto, that's another story. You got 12-second lead on right now. I think we probably both have one more pit stop. So I could beat Hashimoto. Could be as high as second, probably third. And right now I would just barely retain the points lead. Yeah, slowly losing ground to Laurie. I do think Laurie does come into pit again. Hashimoto now up to third and is going to start chasing me down. But that's quite a distance. Stone up to 13th for the moment. Could still potentially be top 10. A lot of things got to be figured out to see if that's going to happen. I may have to, I'm starting to watch the fuel gauge on Gabler. I may have to get her a little bit lower on the fuel consumption, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, I think I've... 23 now. I think I'm going to just make it. I've got 3 more laps basically of power. So that's what I'm going for. Go ahead and go... oh, nope, don't need to bother going neutral now. Oh, no, go ahead and do it. Get back up to 11th. See if you can do that for me, Stone. Send Stone on hybrid now. A little bit late. So I'll switch him down to high. Only caught it a lap late, but it was still late. See if you can get away with conserving for a bit here. Definitely losing ground to Hashimoto, but again, Hashimoto, there you go. You got to go and pit again. And so will I soon. Yep, go back up to neutral for this lap. And it's time for Gabler to go in and going to have 18 laps remaining. I think I'm going to want 10. I might not need quite that much. I could possibly get away with 9, but I don't think so. Again, let's be safe. Let's be safe. You can see we're just cutting it down to nothing here. Stone up to 9th. We're cutting it down to nothing in terms of fuel and in terms of the battery. So this just... And the tire, as far as that goes. Ran out of fuel as she glided down pit row. Comes in second. And comes out fourth. Go ahead and conserve those tires again, because you're going to need every last bit of them. Hume going in for repairs. And store up that energy for the finish. So Hashimoto now 10 seconds behind Gabler. That's a key gap. Rodriguez and Sevilla ahead. They definitely don't have 15 laps worth of tires, though. So I'm not concerned about them. Stone's going to need to come in soon, and he's driving much better now, whereas Gabler is declining. I'm going to go ahead and burst him for the final lap. He's up to 5th with Trenoweth coming in. Let's make sure we actually do the pit stop this time. Boy, 15 laps and goodness. Okay, I'm going to switch back to high and keep him out there for another one. Because I don't think he's got a pair of tires that are going to make that last stint. Laurie now coming in. Don't want to stick. Yeah, go with neutral. Whatever. Okay, now we'll come in and 14 laps to go. Not much charge. I'll go with 12. Comes in 5th, but comes out in 15th. So we'll see who he can pass the rest of his journey, which he hopefully can leg out on those tires. May be running on rims by the end of it. Laurie with the fastest lap of the race, having taken the lead. Gabler in second, but again fading compared to Laurie. Laurie has the speed. I'm not able to keep up, especially with a huge gap in form. So that whole comparison just sort of is what it is. It's not a dominant one, but it's a gradual pulling away by Laurie there. Hashimoto 8 seconds back. 12 laps to go. That's going to be interesting. Now 11. Okay, we would still hold the lead by 1, and Orange not getting much. So it looks like this race is going to separate it into a 2-team competition for the last half, and actually one race more than half of this season. It's us and Spartan. The winner is not assured or guaranteed. Actually catching Laurie now. At least I was. Yeah, 7.5 seconds. That's a big distance, but I will say my tires are fresher. Laurie now trying to really conserve his tires. That's why this is happening. And the question is whether he can get away with that, whether he can do enough of that to stay out there and not be on rims at the end of the race. We shall see. Because Gabler's going to be close on the tires and has still a fair amount more. Hashimoto going to have to pit again. Going to have to pit a 4th time. So you say goodbye to Hashimoto. And it's just a question of Stone racing great, back in 11th, behind Bags though. Really would like to get this pass on Bags, but I can't afford to pump this up, and I can't afford to pump the tires. So, just gotta hope that Stone can make that move. And there we go, back down to over 8 seconds. As Laurie running, changing various things. Laurie's fuel, or the battery, you can see battery, doesn't have much battery. So, we've got more battery power. And better tires. But Laurie just driving great could well end up hanging on to this. Be interesting finish now, 7 laps. And Gabler going to finish second at worst. Almost certainly second. And now with the pass is Stone up to 10th. Parisi and Blasi probably going to have to pit. Same with Holgerson. It's not out of the question that Stone could still finish in the points. Do I want to go... Better go hybrid now before I lose it. I don't have quite enough to go the rest on hybrid though. I might have to... Boy. No, let's go low for a lap. Stop it, go low for a lap. Got to watch that really close. And you know what? You go hybrid now. Okay, I need to... You know, I'm just going to go medium here. Let's see where we get to with this. Stone is in 10th, but there's a big gap to anybody else. He's just got to be able to finish. I don't think he's going to make it. I've got to go down to high. And here's Gabler. The tires are going to be fine, I think. We've got to see what we're losing. The lead is almost 10 seconds, but Laurie doesn't have much left. Trying to conserve those tires. Stone now up to 9th. Got about 3 laps to go. I think I can definitely go at least neutral. So that'll help the speed. But I think I've got to go low on the engine. I'm going to run out of fuel if I don't. Stone now up to 7th. And should be able to go neutral as well. 2.3. Go low on the engine for a bit. And Laurie pitting. Well, how about that? Laurie goes into the pits, so Gabler just has to make it around the track to win the race. And what about Stone? In 7th. And ran out of battery power, so that's boosting back up slowly. Now we've got excessive fuel. Are we at, oh, we are in the last lap. Go. Go. And go. And here's Laurie wrapping up her race. Or, excuse me, Gabler wrapping up her race as Laurie making the miscalculation there. Here's Stone looking like he's going to finish just out of... This one's for me. How nice. And Stone could have finished in the points today. About 4 seconds out. Oh, are you kidding me? 7th place is not a complete disaster. It's tied for the best you've done. Be quiet. It wasn't great. It wasn't a complete disaster. Gabler gets the win. Thanks to the little bit of a miscalculation by Laurie. We legged it out on the 2 stops. And really looking good. Laurie did get the fastest lap bonus. Not a huge fan of that. Yeah, Stone 7th. See if we have any rule breakers. We do not. So Gabler again with the win. Laurie and then Rodriguez from Orange coming out of nowhere to finish 3rd. Heck of a transition there. And we do lose some off the lead. It is spreading out, but still just 6 points with Spartan. This could still turn against us. It really could. My psychic told me this would happen. Your psychic told you the person who's won 4 out of 5 races now, won 3 out of the previous 4, would win again. You don't think you needed a psychic for that? And another trait for Gabler. What do you know? Morale did not go down much. What about your mechanic relationship? It went down some, not as much as before. So if we can get Stone finishing a little higher, we can boost that mechanic relationship back up. Why did your mechanic relationship go down after winning? That makes no sense. Inflated ego. Awesome. You're lucky to have a girl like me. I am. But your happiness went down a bit. Okay. So not all positive news. Overall a 6.6. He's looked good the last 3 races. And yeah, 7th ties his best in Rio. So get out of here with that crying about stuff. Losing only 165K. So we're not actually in the negatives yet. So we're about to get the simulator done. We're going to head to Dubai. We're going to get the second gearbox finished. And all the while, can we hold on to a modest lead over Spartan heading into the second half of the season? That'll be coming up next time. Until then, thanks.